The enigmatic lighthouse in the coastal village of Essaouira, a vibrant town in Morocco, a peculiar lighthouse stood tall at the edge of the sea. Unlike any other lighthouse, this one had a reputation that was whispered about with wonder and awe. It was known as the Laughing Lighthouse. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, telling stories of how it would laugh every evening, just as the sun dipped below the horizon. In a small, sunlit house near the harbor, lived a young girl named Amana. She lived with her grandmother, a kind woman who often told Amana stories about the sea and the strange happenings around the village. Amana was curious, always eager to learn more about the world. Her grandmother had told her that the lighthouse had been built centuries ago, but no one ever quite understood why it had been constructed with such peculiar features. It was unlike the others, with its smooth, curved edges and windows that seemed to gleam even under the moonlight. One evening, as Amana sat by the window, watching the waves crash against the rocks, she heard the familiar sound of laughter drifting through the air. It was faint but clear. She felt a tug in her heart. It was as if the lighthouse was calling to her, inviting her to discover its secret. That night, after dinner, she made a decision. Tomorrow, she would go to the lighthouse. She didn't know why, but she felt an unexplainable connection to it. There was something there, something that needed to be discovered. A journey begins the next morning. Amana packed a small satchel with bread, an apple, and a bottle of water. She put on her favorite blue scarf, tied her shoes tightly, and left the house. Her grandmother waved from the doorstep but didn't say much, knowing that her granddaughter was determined to uncover the mystery of the lighthouse. Amana walked down the cobblestone streets, past the bustling markets where merchants sold spices, colorful fabrics, and fresh fish. The air was filled with the scent of cinnamon and salt. The streets were alive with the chatter of people from all corners of the world. Tourists mingled with the locals, speaking in different languages, from French and Arabic to English and German. Amana enjoyed hearing all the different sounds, for it made her feel as if the world was a large, connected place. The journal of stories. Amana circled the lighthouse, inspecting its walls. They were smooth and worn by years of salt and wind. At the back of the lighthouse, she found a small, weathered door. It was slightly ajar. With a deep breath, Amana pushed the door open and stepped inside. The air was cool and smelled of old wood and seaweed. The lighthouse was dark, but faint light filtered through the tall windows, casting long shadows on the stone floor. In the center of the room, a small wooden table stood, covered in dust. On the table lay an old leather-bound journal. The cover was embossed with a symbol of a laughing face, surrounded by swirling patterns. Amana picked up the journal, her heart racing. She opened the first page and saw a map drawn in vibrant colors, depicting various parts of the world. There were places she recognized, Egypt, Spain, and India, but also many places she had never seen or heard of before. She turned the pages slowly, marveling at the drawings that accompanied the maps. Each page told a story of a place, a moment in time when laughter had filled the air. There were images of children playing in the streets of a bustling market in Kenya, of families sharing meals in the mountains of Peru, and of dancers twirling in the vibrant festivals of Brazil. Each story seemed to be connected by the same theme: laughter, joy, and the simple beauty of human connection. The magic of laughter. As Amana sat with the journal in her lap, the laughter from the lighthouse grew louder. She stood up and walked to the window, where she could see the waves crashing against the rocks below. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky with shades of pink, orange, and purple. Amana felt a sudden warmth in her chest, as if the laughter of the lighthouse was reaching her soul. She realized then that the laughter wasn't just a sound, it was magic. Amana understood now. The lighthouse had been built as a reminder that no matter where people came from, no matter their background or language, they all shared the same fundamental experience: the joy of laughter. The laughter was a bridge that connected them all, a language that needed no translation. The global connection. In the days that followed, Amana returned to the lighthouse each evening, spending hours with the journal. She learned of faraway places, cultures she had never imagined. There were stories of children in Japan laughing as they played in the cherry blossoms, of a wedding in Italy where the bride and groom laughed together as they danced under the stars, and of a street musician in South Africa whose joyful tunes made the whole neighborhood smile. One evening, as Amana sat by the lighthouse, the wind picking up, she thought of all the people around the world, some she would never meet, others she might never understand. But she knew that laughter was a universal bond. It was the thread that tied everyone together. It didn't matter whether they lived in a bustling city or a quiet village, whether they spoke English or Arabic or Spanish, laughter was something everyone could share. Amana smiled, knowing that the Laughing Lighthouse was more than just a building. It was a symbol of unity, of the world's shared joy. As the sun set and the laughter filled the air once more, Amana closed her eyes and listened, feeling the magic of the lighthouse wrap around her like a warm embrace. A world-united word of Amana's discovery spread quickly through the village. People from all over Essaouira came to visit the Laughing Lighthouse, eager to hear its laughter and learn about the stories from around the world. The lighthouse became a symbol of hope and joy, reminding everyone of the power of connection. Over time, Amana shared the stories from the journal with others, stories of laughter and happiness from every corner of the globe. The village, once small and quiet, became a hub of multicultural exchange. People from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds arrived, sharing their own stories, laughter, and experiences. Amana continued to visit the lighthouse, now a part of her heart and soul. She knew that the laughter it carried was not just for her, but for everyone. The world, she realized, was a vast and beautiful place, and laughter was the one thing that united them all.